So you're interested in production line. Well, we just took our final exam, so let's hope you already know what this is. But for those who don't, let me break it down for you real quick. So what is production line? It's a simple layout where different stations work together so they can construct a good or provide a service to a customer. And who is the man that created all of this? None other than Henry Ford. That's right, the founder of Ford Motor Company. So when you're driving down the road and you see an F-150 truck, just know that it was probably created through a production line process. Now let's break it down step by step using the bike as an example. The first thing that starts us off is the customer. We take their order, then once that's done, we start construction of the bike using production line. Once the bike is completed, we send it back to them, but not before we get our cash first. Yo, what's up, man? Welcome to the bike shop.
Hey, can I get a bike?
Yeah, dude, let's go check them out.
Alright, cool. I wonder how bikes are made.
Hey, I could actually show you right now if you want.
Oh, cool, thanks.
Alright, let's go. So the first step in production line is receiving the bike frame. Once the worker has received the frame, he will start assembling the part he's specializing in. Ideally, the production lines want to give the same amount of work to each station. This is called assembly line balancing. Using this technique, a production line can work efficiently and maximize their output. In production line, there are three variables. The first one is product variety. This pretty much means we can customize the bike, but only to a certain extent. For example, we can add different colors to our bike such as green, red, or blue, but we must stay within our limits. This gives a sense of variety to the customer while we're still operating within our range. The second is equipment flexibility. This means that our production line can only make one certain type of product. In this case, it's the bicycle. But we cannot turn this bicycle into a tricycle because our production line is specialized into making only bicycles. And the last is volume. This just means that we can create a lot of bicycles throughout the day instead of just building one. Production line makes it easier and faster to assemble bikes and is also able to meet high volume demands from our customers.
There are many advantages for a company to set up a production line. One benefit is hiring semi-skilled laborers. As you can see in our video, our workers are college students. They have little skill and very little experience in the real world, but are able to complete the process at a good pace. Each individual only needs to be proficient in one aspect of the production line. For example, we have seen one person assemble the back tire, and when that was done, the bicycle was passed along to another person that was proficient at inserting the front tire. The bicycle then gets passed along to another person that is good at construction one part, and so forth until the process is completed. Production line workers only need a couple of tools and components, which saves us a lot of time. This setup allows for mass production at a high rate compared to other processes like the project process. But with advantages also come disadvantages. One being the high initial investment to set up a production line. A lot of machines are usually used to run a production line, which does make the process easier for our workers, but the company will have to pay a good amount to set it up. One more disadvantage is even though we are mass producing at a high rate, it is almost impossible to alter the final product. There is no sense of variety in our products when it comes to mass production. This also leaves us open to poor quality control. As you can see, our college students were able to construct a bicycle, but what you don't know is that the front wheel of that bicycle is missing its brakes because our student was feeling the pressure of quickly assembling their part. The production line requires a lot of repetitive steps and a quick pace, but bad quality control can reflect negatively for a company.
But production line doesn't stop here. We see it in our lives, from getting dressed to making a sandwich. These everyday situations are basic forms of a production line. The most common example in a business setting are car manufacturing, like the F-150 truck, and restaurants such as Subway and Chipotle.
So here's your bike. That's production line, by the way.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, production line.
What the heck? No refund!